I've seen some problems. We both have seen problems in the National Football League that we're going to introduce a new segment called Fix It. It's straight to the point here, too, Josh. And so we're going to start out your way with New England, the Patriots. The offense under Mac Jones, 23rd in offensive DVOA, 23rd passing, 23rd rushing, average 8.0 yards to go on second down, which is horrible on second downs. They're 23rd in the league right there. So offensively, they need to fix it under Mac Jones. Here's my suggestion for New England Patriots. See if you'd agree with this. Bring back Cam Newton. I mean, it's not that difficult. I think as a rookie quarterback, what we're seeing from Bill Belichick is his inability to manage a rookie quarterback. He hasn't had to do this. He had Tom Brady for 2 years or 20 years. And now you're having a coach making decisions with a rookie quarterback in mind. And I don't know if he's coaching to win here all the time. I mean, certainly he wants to win, but questionable coaching decisions, some situations that the offense cannot get themselves out of, a rookie quarterback that obviously is trying to play better than what his skill set presents at this moment. Bring back Cam Newton. That's my suggestion to fix this offense. What do you think?
Oh, Pritch, I don't want to see Cam Newton anymore. That's just me as a Patriots fan. And who knows, maybe it sounds like he might have a cup of coffee or getting a call from the Seattle Seahawks here. It sounds like I read a report that maybe you bring him in as kind of a mobile guy in the mold of, waiting for Russell Wilson to come back. But Pritch, I'm right there with you. I think Belichick, it's weird the way he's coaching this year. He seems to really be protecting Mac Jones. Now, I'm wondering, is there a handshake agreement where Bill says, Robert Kraft says, Bill, I'm going to keep you around until you're 80 years old, and let's keep it slow and steadily build here with Mac Jones? Because, for example, Pritch, you're in overtime against the Dallas Cowboys. You get the ball at midfield, and it's a third, fourth down. You're not going to go for it on fourth down when you can't stop the Dallas Cowboys. Situations where you go for the kick against Tom Brady and the Bucs, and Nick Folk misses that field goal. It just seems like there are situations where Bill is really handling Mac Jones with kid gloves and not wanting him to lose the game and get blamed for losing the game. So I think there's something going on there. Pritch, my fix for Mac Jones in this offense, which Rex Ryan calls a pea shooter offense, although Kendrick Bourne down the middle for 75 yards, I don't know if I'd call that a pea shooter, but here's the thing. You need better offensive line play, Pritch. They're going to get Mac Jones killed if they continue to let in all these free rushers crush him. I mean, that hit by Randy Gregory nailing Mac Jones. Pritch, I would have been out for a year after I get hit like that. The thing with Mac Jones, he keeps getting up, but you need Trent Brown. You trade to bring this guy back. He's been MIA. The offensive line's been in shambles. I think you're really missing Joe Thuney now at this point. But just to go to this game here this week, Pritch, it doesn't look like, respected bettors are worried about the Patriots here. An open -6.5 at home. Maybe the great elixir is playing the Jets once again, Pritch, but -6.5 now up to -7. You could be looking at a spot here to use New England in a survivor, where I don't know how many times down the road you're going to use them. Here's the thing, though. The Jets coming off a bye. Big distinction we've seen versus Atlanta off a bye and the Jets off a bye. Big advantage to favorites. Favorites off a bye are covering around 58% of the time here last decade. Dogs off a bye are only around 47% ATS. So even though you say Jets off a bye, that's an edge. We haven't seen that borne out in the betting results here. But to me, Pritch, protect Mac Jones. Keep, handling him, with kid gloves here. Maybe losing James White also hurt him. But you got to fix that offensive line. I'd be looking at New England here as a possible sneaky survivor play, kind of like the Colts last week.
Yeah, the problem is with Mac Jones, though, he's a pocket passer, and you have a poor offensive line right now. Okay, you can't run the football, and you have a pocket passer who cannot move. And at least a dual-threat quarterback can give you extra blockers in terms of Cam Newton running the football. And we saw that last year. We saw that kind of play out. I think when you're inefficient on second down, such a defensive down, when you're in second and long so many times, or you're inefficient on first down too, it doesn't matter what the future is for Mac Jones. And now, if Belichick is coaching for the future that way, trying to develop Mac Jones, then as a bettor, I got to understand that, right?
Totally agree, Pritch. And again, this may not jive with, laying the points here this week. I would be more comfortable in a survivor spot. Maybe you have a tease opportunity. You're only going through one key number, but bring that Patriots line down a little bit here to around -1. But you're totally right. Patriots to me have value when they're undervalued and when they're a dog. When you're laying points, it's more of a questionable situation, especially in the division. But, Pritch, this is something we got to monitor moving forward. I got to keep Mac Jones upright. I need a future here at quarterback.
All right. Well, Cam Newton, I think he could fix it for immediate purposes, but long-term, certainly Mac Jones is the guy to have there at quarterback. How about the Chargers? Their rush defense is horrible. last in rush defense, DVOA, fifth in pass defense. Of course, we know that because of the pass rush. Last in rush defense success rate on early downs. So they cannot stop the run against elite teams that know how to run the football. How do we fix it, or how did the Chargers fix it? Well, one, I think offensively they got to start with possessing the football. The game against Baltimore, for instance, they could not get into a rhythm, could not possess the football. They only had the ball 21 minutes. I think when your team or your defense is on the field for that amount of time, 38 minutes plus, that's a problem. And then also, I want to see them change up their defense too. I think from a personnel standpoint, yes, they can get after the quarterback. We understand that. But crowding the line of scrimmage, playing more and more man-to-man coverages, I think the Chargers need to adapt that strategy. Brandon Staley, they got the bye week, Josh Appelbaum, to make that determination. I look for them to play more man-to-man coverages early on.
I'm right there with you, Pritch. And again, I think you also need more out of Joey Bosa. This is a guy you give a ton of money to. He's got 3.5 sacks, which doesn't look great on paper, which looks okay on paper, but there are too many games where he's really kind of invisible out there. Maybe it's a situation where those are just the games I'm watching with the Chargers, but you give a guy a lot of money. I mean, with the Patriots, at least, give credit Matt Judon. That's a guy they gave a ton of money to, and he's been an absolute stud here. So maybe you got to mix up your coverages here. Also, I'm looking at this Patriots game against the Chargers. Just so happens after this week, the Chargers off a bye, coming back home that next week at home against New England. That game was around -6. You did see it fall to around -5.5. So a little adjustment there downward instead of, upward. Again, got to wait a while for this game to get started, but that will be something to monitor moving forward. Those favorites off a bye, which Pritch, 58% ATS the last decade. That's what comes to mind for me. And maybe going up against a terrible offensive line like my Patriots, that's probably going to make that Chargers defensive line look a lot better.
All right, we'll wait and see on that. See if they can fix that for sure. Okay, let's get to our next issue. Problems for Patrick Mahomes. I mean, look at this guy, 8 interceptions through 6 games. Josh, he had 6 interceptions all of 2020, on pace for 23 interceptions. He's tied, I believe, with Zach Wilson in interceptions right now, which that's a rookie. Don't do that. But Patrick Mahomes, he's pressing too much. So here's how he needs to fix it. More patience. I think as you get older as a quarterback and as the league changes to you, adapts to what you do and what you like to do, you got to evolve too as a quarterback. And Patrick Mahomes right now, he's seeing so many too high zone coverages, too high zone, actually too high man-to-man coverages as well, that the middle of the field is where he needs to throw the football. Like outside is a safer throw, but he can't take that now because of how defenses are playing him. But he's reluctant to take the underneath throws consistently, Josh.
Yeah, he's got to take a play out of Mac Jones' playbook here, Pritch. 5 yards and out, get it out, make it easy on you. But again, this has been a bit of a surprise. I mean, you look back at it over the summer. We did all these shows where the win total with the Chiefs was 12.5 and really juiced up under, and everyone's like, screw that. 17-game season, they'll easily win 13 or more. You're seeing some of these deficiencies and the Super Bowl hangover rear its ugly head. And I think it's based on, again, Pritch, when you're giving up a ton of points on offense, it gives you more internal pressure on yourself to feel like you have to score every single possession. So I'm looking at this line here, going to Tennessee here, Pritch. Mm-hmm. This reminds me a lot. You just take out the Bills and put in the Chiefs. The line movement looks exactly the same as that primetime game on Monday night, because Kansas City opened, the look at, I think, was like only -3. Kind of a true opener, maybe more like -4.5. But this thing all the way up to 5.5, Pritch. And I'm thinking if we can get a 6, and I think I'm starting to see if any book does get to 6, but if you can get a 6 on Tennessee at home, to me, that's a value play, especially on a team, if I'm betting on a dog, a team that can score quite a bit. You have Tennessee, their last couple games, Pritch, putting up, 34, 37. They're averaging, I think, like 28 points a game here. If you're on a dog, I want a dog that can cover and keep pace. And also, Pritch, that's going to be, so far, I believe, the highest total of the season, Kansas City and Tennessee. That opened 56.5. It's all the way up to 57, 57.5. I don't like taking these big high overs, with these lines moving, not getting the best of it. But you did look at the last time these teams scored or played each other. I think it was a 35-24 game. So you got 59 in that spot. So that's something to keep an eye on moving forward. But I'm looking at buying low on Tennessee once again off that big win against the Bills. Can we get a +6 on Tennessee? That's what I'm waiting for.
I wonder if they can get up that high with scoring because of the too high coverages that Patrick Mahomes is seeing. I mean, he's seeing so many more defenses that want to take away the big play.
Great point by you, Pritch. And again, you get some data when the total is 55 or higher. The under is actually pretty decent historically, around 55%.